Hi there, I'm Sridhar Chandrasekaran, and I'm excited to share my knowledge and experience in transmission line construction with you. In this series, my goal is to equip engineers and managers with the essential know-how they need before stepping into the field and taking charge of their projects. We'll dive into everything from the basics of construction and execution planning to tendering, budgeting, and even touch on the engineering ethics that are so important in our profession. Each week, I'll be posting a new video. In each chapter, we'll explore relevant technical topics, discuss ethical considerations, and wrap up with a thought-provoking quote. So, stay tuned. There's a lot to cover. We are currently in Chapter 5 on power transmission lines construction and focusing on project management. Disclaimer. Just a quick note. The content in these videos is meant for informational and basic educational purposes only. These videos aren't intended to provide professional advice or endorsements. This helps set the right expectations about the nature of what we're sharing, especially since we draw on material from various sources under the principle of fair use. In our previous chapters, we established a solid foundation by covering essential concepts like electricity and power generation, as well as prerequisite activities for transmission line construction, including demand assessment, resource requirements, project planning, and the tendering and bidding processes. Now, in this chapter, we will explore project management, specifically what happens once the project is awarded. We'll examine how a transmission line project is initialized and organized after a successful bid, diving into the practical steps involved in setting the project into motion. This chapter will provide valuable insights for project engineers by breaking down the steps required to effectively manage a transmission line project from initiation to execution. Project team formation. Assembling a skilled project team, including engineers, technicians, project managers, commercial and procurement specialists, and other essential roles. Office setup and site organization. Setting up a project office, selecting storage locations, and arranging accommodations for technicians and on-site personnel. Logistics and material procurement, sourcing construction materials, planning transportation, and ensuring the timely delivery of resources to the project site. Execution team mobilization, organizing field crews, deploying construction equipment, and establishing workflows for on-site activities. Commercial and regulatory compliance, handling financial aspects, ensuring regulatory approvals, and adhering to environmental and safety requirements. By examining each of these steps, we'll gain a clear picture of how projects are transformed from plans on paper to real-world operations. This chapter aims to equip you with the knowledge needed to manage the early stages of a transmission line construction project effectively, ensuring that all necessary preparations are in place for smooth project execution. Project Management Overview. We will cover the topic of project management across 2 chapters due to the extensive content involved. Although presented in a summarized format, it requires considerable time to understand fully. Therefore, we will explore the subject in 2 parts, Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. Let us get started. Once a transmission line construction company wins a government bid, the project initiation process begins with several critical steps that lay the groundwork for efficient and successful execution. Here's a step-by-step breakdown of these activities, which set the stage for the actual construction phase. 1. Contract finalization. Review and sign contract. finalize the contract with the client, ensuring that all terms, conditions, timelines, and financial arrangements are clearly understood and agreed upon. Financial and legal arrangements. Secure performance bonds, insurance, and other required financial documents to guarantee project commitments. 2. Establish the project team. Project manager. Appointment. Designate a project manager to oversee the project from start to finish, coordinating all teams and managing timelines, budgets, and deliverables. Team formation. Assemble a team that includes engineers, surveyors, construction supervisors, safety officers, procurement specialists, and other key roles. 3. Detailed project planning. Develop a project plan. Outline the project's phases, milestones, resource allocation, and contingency plans. This serves as the project's roadmap. Set key milestones. Establish critical deadlines for major tasks, such as foundation work, tower erection, conductor stringing, and testing. 4th, selecting a project office and site organization. Office setup. Establish a project office near the site for administration, meetings, and coordination, storage and accommodation. Arrange facilities for material storage, equipment staging, and accommodations for workers, especially for remote locations. These topics we will explore in detail in this chapter, and the remaining topics we'll cover in our next chapter are obtaining necessary permits and approvals, arranging logistics, and conducting the route survey. The balance topics inclusive of soil investigation, detailed design, right-of-way acquisition, procurement and resource mobilization, implement safety and environmental protocols, documentation submission and approvals, and construction phase execution. In detail, let us explore the topics. 1. Contract finalization is indeed a crucial step in the project initiation process for a transmission line construction company after it has won a bid. Although many terms are generally agreed upon during the bidding phase, this stage involves a thorough review and careful implementation of those terms, along with any clarifications or adjustments made during negotiations. Finalizing the contract sets the foundation for project execution by establishing clear, binding commitments between the company and the client. Here's an in-depth look at why this step is so important and what it involves. A. Detailed review of contract terms. Ensuring clarity and accuracy. Even though terms were discussed during bidding, contract finalization requires a careful review of all clauses to confirm that they reflect the agreed-upon arrangements accurately. Scope of work verification. The company reviews the detailed scope of work to ensure that it covers all required tasks and deliverables. This includes specifications for design, construction, and quality standards. Identifying potential gaps. The review process helps identify any areas that may not have been fully covered or clarified during the bidding phase. This allows both parties to address these issues proactively. B. Incorporating negotiated adjustments. Revisions and amendments. Any adjustments made to the project scope, timeline, or budget during the negotiation process are incorporated into the contract. These changes are documented clearly to avoid misunderstandings. Clarification of roles and responsibilities. The contract finalization process includes detailing the roles and responsibilities of both the client and the construction company. This may include clarifying specific tasks or responsibilities assigned to certain team members or subcontractors. Final agreement on change orders. Since projects may require modifications, the contract should include a clear process for managing change orders. This section outlines how scope changes will be documented, approved, and compensated. C. Risk allocation and contingency provisions. Defining risk responsibility. Contract finalization is a time to clearly delineate which party will be responsible for specific risks. For instance, the client may assume responsibility for risks related to site access, while the construction company might handle risks related to material supply. Force majeure and contingency planning. The contract typically includes provisions for unexpected events beyond the control of either party, such as natural disasters. These clauses outline procedures for managing project delays or additional costs resulting from such events. D. Verification of financial arrangements. Payment schedules and milestones. The contract clearly defines the timing and conditions of payments. This includes detailing milestones that trigger payments, such as the completion of key construction phases or inspections, advance payments and retentions. If an advance payment is part of the agreement, the terms and amount are documented. The contract may also include retention clauses, where a percentage of each payment is held back until final project acceptance. Performance bonds and insurance. The company ensures that any required financial guarantees, such as performance bonds, are in place. Insurance requirements are also verified to confirm coverage for liability, property damage, and worker safety. E. Compliance with regulatory and legal requirements, permits and approvals. The contract may outline specific permits and approvals needed for the project. The construction company verifies that it has or can obtain the necessary permissions to proceed. Safety and environmental standards. Contract finalization often includes reviewing compliance with safety regulations and environmental standards. These provisions specify the company's obligations to protect workers, local communities, and the environment. Adherence to local laws. The company ensures that the contract terms comply with all relevant laws and regulations. This may include labor laws, construction codes, and import-export restrictions for materials. F. Establishing project milestones and deadlines. Timeline and phasing. The contract includes a project timeline that specifies key phases and completion dates. These deadlines help both parties stay on track and manage progress. Penalties for delays. The contract may include penalty clauses for delays beyond the agreed-upon timeline, which incentivizes timely completion. Likewise, it may also provide incentives for early completion, if negotiated. Deliverable requirements. Each milestone is associated with specific deliverables, such as design approval, site preparation, foundation work, and tower erection. These requirements ensure that both parties understand what is expected at each stage. G. Setting communication and reporting protocols. Designating points of contact. The contract designates primary points of contact for both the client and the construction company, ensuring that all communication is streamlined. Regular updates and reports. Contract finalization includes outlining the frequency and format of project updates, such as weekly progress reports, monthly status meetings, or ad hoc check-ins. Issue escalation procedures. The contract specifies how issues will be escalated and resolved, including timelines for response and steps to address significant project challenges. H. Finalizing quality assurance and performance standards. Quality control. The contract may detail quality standards that the company must meet throughout the project. This includes inspection and testing requirements to verify compliance. Performance benchmarks. The contract sets specific performance benchmarks for construction activities, such as load-bearing requirements, alignment tolerances, and material specifications. Certification and approvals. At the end of each phase, there may be requirements for certification by an inspector or third party to ensure the work meets the agreed standards. I. Formalizing the contract. Document signing. Once all terms are reviewed and agreed upon, authorized representatives from both parties sign the contract, making it legally binding. Document retention and distribution. The final signed contract is distributed to key stakeholders and securely stored for future reference. Digital copies are also kept for easy access and record keeping. J. Project kickoff preparation. Internal team briefing. The project team is briefed on the finalized contract terms, ensuring everyone understands the expectations, timeline, and budget constraints. Mobilization and resource allocation. With the contract finalized, the construction company begins mobilizing resources, ordering materials, and preparing for project initiation. K. Building a collaborative client relationship. Fostering trust and transparency. Finalizing the contract is also about establishing a strong, collaborative relationship with the client. By agreeing on transparent terms and open communication, the company builds a foundation for a productive partnership. Regular engagement. The contract includes plans for ongoing collaboration, such as periodic reviews and joint problem-solving sessions. This ensures both parties remain aligned throughout the project. Two. Establish the project team. Once the contract is signed for a transmission line construction project, one of the first and most critical steps is to establish the project team. This involves carefully selecting team members to meet the specific qualification and experience requirements outlined in the contract and often as stipulated by the client. Forming a strong, competent project team is essential for successful project execution and helps ensure that the project is completed on time, within budget, and to the required quality standards. A. Understanding contractual requirements. Qualification standards. The contract may specify minimum qualifications for certain roles, such as certifications, degrees, or years of experience in transmission line construction. This often applies to positions like project managers, engineers, safety officers, and quality control personnel. Experience in similar projects. Some roles, especially those in leadership and technical positions, may require specific experience with similar projects. For instance, experience in high-voltage transmission line projects or working in particular geographic or environmental conditions may be necessary. Specialized skills. The project may require team members with specialized skills, such as geotechnical engineers for foundation work, environmental experts for regulatory compliance, or logistics coordinators familiar with remote or challenging site access. Client preferences. In some cases, the client may request specific personnel with a proven track record or require certain positions to be staffed by individuals with particular qualifications or previous client experience. B. Defining roles and responsibilities. Project manager. Appoint a project manager who will lead the project team and is responsible for overseeing all aspects of the project. The project manager should have extensive experience in managing transmission line projects and strong skills in planning, budgeting, and client communication. Field engineers. Field engineers are essential for on-site management, troubleshooting, and technical supervision. They work closely with the project manager and ensure that construction adheres to design specifications and quality standards. Construction supervisors. These team members oversee specific phases of construction, such as foundation work, tower erection, and conductor stringing. They ensure daily tasks are completed safely, on time, and according to plan. Quality control and safety officers. The project may require designated quality control and safety officers to maintain standards. The quality control officer ensures compliance with design and material specifications, while the safety officer enforces site safety protocols and procedures. Environmental and regulatory compliance team. If the project has significant environmental considerations, a dedicated team or consultant may be needed to handle regulatory requirements, monitor environmental impacts, and ensure adherence to compliance measures. Procurement and logistics coordinators, responsible for sourcing materials and managing the logistics of transporting equipment and materials to the site. This role requires close collaboration with suppliers and coordination with the construction schedule to avoid delays. C. Recruitment and selection process. Internal resources and recruitment. First, review the company's internal talent pool to identify existing employees who meet the qualifications. If needed, recruit external candidates to fill gaps. This may involve posting job openings, screening resumes, and conducting interviews. Verifying credentials. To ensure compliance with contractual requirements, verify the qualifications and experience of selected candidates. This may include checking certifications, contacting references, and reviewing past project experience. Selecting subcontractors and consultants. For specialized tasks, the company may need to bring in subcontractors or consultants with specific expertise, such as environmental assessments or geotechnical engineering. These external team members should also meet the contractual qualifications and be vetted for experience and reliability. Organizational structure and reporting hierarchy. Establish clear reporting lines. Define the organizational structure of the project team and create clear reporting lines. The project manager typically reports to senior management and is responsible for overseeing all other team members. Assign team leaders for key areas. For larger projects, appoint team leaders for different areas, such as engineering, safety, logistics, and quality control. These leaders report to the project manager and are accountable for their team's activities. Define communication protocols. Establish protocols for team communication, including regular meetings, progress reports, and issue escalation procedures. This ensures efficient collaboration and keeps everyone informed about project updates and challenges. E. Training and orientation. Project-specific training. Once the team is assembled, provide training on the project's specific requirements, including design standards, safety protocols, and environmental considerations. This helps ensure everyone understands the unique aspects of the project. Site-specific orientation. Conduct an orientation for on-site personnel, covering aspects such as site access, local regulations, community engagement protocols, and emergency response procedures. Safety and compliance training. Ensure all team members receive comprehensive safety training relevant to transmission line construction. This includes training on PPE usage, hazard identification, fall protection, and compliance with safety regulations. Setting goals and performance expectations. Define clear objectives. Each team member should have a clear understanding of their role in achieving the project's objectives. Set specific, measurable goals related to timelines, quality standards, and safety metrics. Establish key performance indicators, KPIs. For major roles, define KPIs to track performance. For example, safety officers might be evaluated on incident reduction, while construction supervisors might be evaluated on task completion and adherence to schedules. Regular performance reviews. Plan for periodic performance reviews to monitor progress and provide feedback. This helps ensure that the project remains on track and allows for adjustments in resource allocation if necessary. G. Resource allocation and project mobilization. Assign equipment and tools. Equip the team with the necessary tools, machinery, and technology needed for their tasks. This includes construction equipment, surveying instruments, and safety gear. Allocate office and on-site facilities. Provide the team with suitable working environments, both in the project office and on-site. This may involve setting up temporary office spaces, storage facilities, and accommodations if the project site is remote. Plan for workforce rotation and support. For long-term or remote projects, plan workforce rotations to maintain productivity and ensure team members have access to amenities and support services, such as medical facilities and recreational areas. H. Developing a collaborative team culture. Foster team cohesion. Encourage collaboration and open communication among team members, helping build a strong, cohesive team. Team-building activities can help establish rapport and enhance teamwork. Promote a safety-first culture. Ensure that safety is prioritized in all activities. Regular safety briefings, inspections, and open discussions about safety concerns help create a proactive safety culture. Encourage problem-solving and innovation. Support a culture where team members feel empowered to contribute ideas, share insights, and propose solutions to challenges that arise during the project. I. Client and stakeholder interaction. Introduce key personnel to the client. The client may request to meet the project team, particularly the project manager and other senior team members. Introducing the team helps establish rapport and build trust with the client. Define stakeholder roles. In addition to the internal team, identify key stakeholders, including subcontractors, suppliers, regulatory agencies, and local community representatives. Assign team members to manage relationships and communication with each group. Engage in regular updates and reporting. Establish a schedule for regular updates with the client and other stakeholders. This may include status reports, site visits, and joint problem-solving sessions as needed. J. Ongoing management and support. Monitor team performance and adjust as needed. As the project progresses, the project manager should regularly assess team performance and make adjustments as necessary. This may involve reassigning tasks, bringing in additional resources, or replacing underperforming team members. Ensure team well-being. Working on transmission line projects, especially in remote areas, can be challenging. Ensuring that team members have adequate support, rest, and amenities can help maintain morale and productivity throughout the project. Topic 3. Detailed project planning. Developing a detailed project plan is one of the most crucial steps in the project initiation process after contract finalization and team establishment. This comprehensive plan outlines the project's scope, phases, milestones, resource allocation, risk management strategies, and contingency measures. A well-developed project plan serves as a roadmap for the entire team, guiding the project from start to finish and ensuring alignment with the client's expectations and contractual obligations. A. Defining project scope and objectives. Scope of work. Begin by clearly defining the scope of work, which includes all tasks, deliverables, and goals. This involves specifying what needs to be constructed, from foundation work and tower erection to conductor stringing and line testing. Project objectives. Outline the primary objectives of the project, such as completing the construction within a set time frame, adhering to quality standards, and maintaining compliance with regulatory and safety requirements. Stakeholder expectations. Identify the key expectations of stakeholders, including the client, regulatory bodies, local communities, and the project team. The plan should align with these expectations to ensure satisfaction upon project completion. B. Project phases and task breakdown. Project phases. Divide the project into distinct phases, such as design and engineering, site preparation, construction, testing, and commissioning. Each phase should have its own specific goals, deliverables, and timelines. Task breakdown. Within each phase, break down the work into smaller, manageable tasks. For example, the construction phase may include tasks like tower foundation work, tower assembly, and conductor installation. This allows for more detailed planning and easier tracking of progress. Sequencing tasks. Arrange tasks in a logical sequence to ensure that activities proceed smoothly. For example, tower foundation work must be completed before tower erection can begin. Proper sequencing minimizes delays and dependencies between tasks. C. Setting key milestones. Milestone identification. Establish key milestones that represent significant achievements in the project's timeline. These could include the completion of design approvals, the start of foundation construction, completion of tower erection, and the start of conductor stringing. Deadlines for milestones. Assign target dates for each milestone based on the project's overall schedule. Milestones help track progress, allowing the team to assess whether the project is on track or if adjustments are needed. Client approval points. Identify specific milestones that require client sign-off, such as design approvals, quality inspections, or project handover. This ensures that client input is incorporated at critical stages. D. Resource allocation. Human resources. Determine the workforce requirements for each phase, including engineers, construction workers, project managers, safety officers, and specialized technicians. Allocate team members based on the skill sets needed for each task and phase. Material and equipment planning. Identify the materials, equipment, and tools required for each phase. For example, foundation work may need concrete, rebar, and excavators, while tower erection requires cranes, tower sections, and assembly tools. The plan should outline timelines for material delivery and equipment mobilization. Subcontractors and suppliers. If the project requires specialized subcontractors, e.g., for geotechnical work, or material suppliers, include them in the plan. Define when their services will be needed and coordinate schedules to ensure seamless integration with other activities. Time management and scheduling. Gantt chart development. Use a Gantt chart to visually represent the project timeline, showing each phase, task, and milestone along a timeline. This helps the team track task durations, dependencies, and progress. Critical path identification. Determine the critical path of the project, which is the sequence of tasks that directly impact the project completion date. This helps identify the tasks that cannot be delayed without affecting the overall timeline. Task duration estimates. Estimate the time required for each task, considering potential delays due to weather, resource availability, or unforeseen challenges. Building in buffer time for certain tasks can help prevent overall project delays. F. Contingency planning. Risk assessment. Identify potential risks to the project, such as weather disruptions, equipment breakdowns, supply chain delays, or regulatory compliance issues. Assess the likelihood and impact of each risk. Mitigation strategies. Develop strategies to mitigate identified risks. For instance, if adverse weather could delay tower erection, consider alternative scheduling options or have backup equipment available. Contingency resources. Allocate contingency resources, time, budget, materials for unexpected challenges. For example, set aside additional materials or funds for emergency repairs or adjustments. Budget allocation. Cost estimation. Based on the tasks and resources identified, create a detailed cost estimate. This includes labor costs, material expenses, equipment rentals, subcontractor fees, and other project-related costs. Budget breakdown. By phase, allocate the budget across project phases. For instance, the design phase might require funds for engineering services and software, while the construction phase will have costs for labor, materials, and heavy equipment. Cost control measures include mechanisms to monitor and control costs throughout the project. This may involve regular financial reviews, budget tracking tools, and variance analysis to identify areas where the project may be over or under budget. H. Quality assurance and control. Quality standards. Define the quality standards and benchmarks the project must meet. This could involve adhering to industry standards, client specifications, and regulatory requirements. Quality inspections and testing. Schedule regular inspections and testing at key points in the project, such as foundation work completion, tower erection, and conductor installation. These inspections ensure that construction adheres to design specifications and quality guidelines. Documentation and reporting. Plan for thorough documentation of quality checks, test results, and corrective actions taken. This documentation provides a record of compliance and ensures transparency with the client. I. Safety planning. Safety protocols. Define safety protocols for each phase, covering aspects such as equipment usage, PPE requirements, emergency response, and incident reporting. Tailor these protocols to the specific tasks and hazards involved in transmission line construction. Training requirements. Identify safety training needs for the team. This may include training on fall protection, hazard recognition, electrical safety, and heavy equipment operation. Emergency preparedness. Develop an emergency response plan for potential incidents. This includes establishing evacuation procedures, emergency contacts, and first aid resources on site. J. Communication and reporting structure. Project communication plan. Outline the communication structure for the project, including regular meetings, status updates, and reporting requirements. This plan should specify who is responsible for each type of communication and the frequency of updates. Progress reporting. Establish a system for tracking and reporting progress on milestones and tasks. This may involve weekly or monthly reports, progress photos, and data on completed activities. Stakeholder engagement. Define how and when the project team will engage with stakeholders, including the client, regulatory authorities, local communities, and subcontractors. This may involve regular briefings, site visits, and client update meetings. K. Technology and tools utilization. Project management software. use project management software to organize tasks, track progress, and facilitate team collaboration. Tools like MS Project, Primavera, or other construction management software can help streamline project planning. Data collection and analysis tools. Plan to use tools for data collection and analysis, such as drones for site surveys or software for monitoring project costs and timelines. Documentation management. Implement a system for storing and managing project documents, including design plans, permits, inspection reports, and financial records. Digital storage solutions ensure easy access to important files throughout the project. Topic 4. Selecting a project office and site organization. Once the transmission line construction project is awarded and the project team is established, the next critical step is selecting a project office and organizing the site. This involves setting up a project office near the site to serve as a hub for administration, meetings, and coordination, as well as arranging facilities for storage and accommodation. These arrangements ensure that all project activities are centralized, resources are readily available, and workers have the necessary amenities to support efficient and safe project execution. Project office setup. Location selection. Choose a location for the project office that is strategically close to the transmission line route or a central point along the route. This proximity enables the project management team and engineers to quickly access work sites, oversee activities, and address issues in real time. Proximity to the site also reduces travel time, allowing the team to focus on core project tasks. Office facilities and layout. Depending on the project duration and site conditions, consider using modular office units or portable cabins. These facilities should include administrative offices, rooms for project managers, engineers, and administrative staff to carry out day-to-day planning, reporting, and decision-making. Meeting rooms. Dedicated meeting spaces are essential for project discussions, progress reviews, safety briefings, and client interactions. The room should be equipped with tables, chairs, and audio-visual equipment for presentations and video conferencing if necessary. Document control area. An organized space for storing and managing essential documents, such as project plans, permits, inspection reports, and safety protocols. This area helps the team keep track of documentation and ensures easy access to important files when needed. Communication and IT setup. Reliable internet and phone connections are crucial for maintaining constant communication with the site, suppliers, subcontractors, and the client. The office should be equipped with computers, printers, fax machines, and phones to facilitate seamless communication and reporting. Workstations. Provide individual workstations or desks for each team member, outfitted with the necessary office supplies and tools. Comfortable and organized workspaces contribute to productivity and efficiency. Break and refreshment areas. Include areas for employees to take breaks, have refreshments, and recharge during the workday. Simple amenities such as a coffee machine, water cooler, and microwave can go a long way in improving employee morale and comfort. Storage and material staging facilities. Material storage. Designate areas near the site or along the transmission line route for storing materials. Proper storage helps protect materials like conductors, insulators, towers, and other hardware from damage, theft, and adverse weather conditions. Consider covered storage for sensitive materials. Store sensitive materials, such as electrical components, in covered areas to shield them from moisture, dust, and sunlight. Sheltered storage facilities prevent damage and degradation, ensuring materials are ready for use. Outdoor storage for large components. Components like tower sections, steel rods, and foundation materials can be stored in outdoor areas. However, ensure these areas are organized, labeled, and accessible to facilitate quick retrieval when needed. Inventory management system. Implement a system to track inventory levels, manage stock, and monitor usage. A reliable inventory management system reduces the risk of material shortages, minimizes waste, and enables efficient ordering of supplies. C. Equipment staging area. Establish an equipment staging area for heavy machinery, tools, and vehicles needed for construction tasks. This area should be located close to the worksite and include designated parking for heavy equipment. Assign parking spots for cranes, excavators, trucks, and other machinery, ensuring they are parked securely and ready for deployment. Maintenance and refueling stations. Set up areas for refueling, routine maintenance, and minor repairs to keep equipment operational. Regular maintenance schedules help prevent breakdowns and prolong equipment life. Storage for tools and small equipment. Allocate secure storage for smaller tools and equipment, such as drilling rigs, tensioning tools, and assembly kits. These tools should be readily accessible and organized to reduce retrieval time. Security and safety measures. Protect stored materials and equipment with appropriate security measures, such as fencing, surveillance cameras, and locked storage units. Site security is essential to prevent theft, vandalism, and unauthorized access. Implementing these measures is particularly important in remote locations. D. Worker accommodation and on-site facilities. Accommodation arrangements. If the project site is in a remote or isolated area, arrange temporary accommodations for workers, supervisors, and site personnel. Options may include portable cabins or dormitories. Set up portable cabins or dormitories to provide comfortable sleeping quarters, especially for long-term stays. These accommodations should be equipped with basic amenities, including bedding, heating or cooling, and lighting. Sanitation facilities. Provide clean and well-maintained sanitation facilities, such as portable toilets, showers, and hand-washing stations. Proper sanitation helps maintain hygiene standards and supports worker health. Canteen or food services. Arrange a canteen or food service area where workers can access meals, snacks, and refreshments. In remote areas, consider contracting a catering service to provide nutritious meals on site. Recreational and rest areas. Include designated areas where workers can relax and unwind during breaks. Simple amenities like seating, shade structures, and recreational facilities can improve morale and reduce fatigue. First aid and medical support. Ensure that first aid stations and medical supplies are available on-site to handle minor injuries or health issues. For remote locations, it may be beneficial to have a trained first aid responder on-site or arrange access to nearby medical facilities. Waste management and disposal. Set up a waste management system to handle construction debris, hazardous materials, and general waste. Designate areas for waste collection and ensure regular disposal according to environmental regulations to maintain a clean and safe work environment. E. Site organization and layout planning. Mapping the site layout. Create a site layout map showing the locations of the project office, storage areas, accommodation facilities, and work zones. A well-organized site layout helps coordinate activities, facilitates easy navigation, and ensures resources are readily accessible. Access roads and transportation routes. Develop access roads or pathways connecting the office, storage, and work areas. Properly planned access routes minimize travel time, reduce wear and tear on vehicles, and provide efficient pathways for transporting materials and equipment. Designated work zones define specific areas for foundation work, tower erection, and conductor stringing. Mark these zones clearly and install necessary signage to inform workers and visitors of restricted access, safety requirements, and potential hazards. Parking and vehicle management. Designate parking areas for site vehicles, including trucks, crew transport vehicles, and personal vehicles. Clearly marked parking areas help maintain an organized site and reduce congestion around active work zones. F. Safety and compliance measures. Safety protocols. Establish safety protocols to be followed throughout the site. This includes protocols for PPE usage, equipment handling, emergency response, and site-specific safety practices. Regularly conduct safety briefings to reinforce these protocols. Emergency response plan. Develop an emergency response plan tailored to the site layout and local conditions. Ensure that all team members are familiar with evacuation routes, emergency contacts, and roles during an emergency. Regular drills can help prepare workers for potential incidents. Regulatory compliance. The project office and site layout should comply with all applicable regulatory requirements, such as environmental protection, health and safety standards, and building codes. Ensure that the setup adheres to regulations to avoid fines and maintain a positive relationship with regulatory authorities. Safety signage and notifications. Post safety signage around the site, particularly in high-risk areas. Signs indicating restricted access, PPE requirements, and emergency procedures help promote a culture of safety and provide essential information to all workers on site. G. Communication and coordination systems. On-site communication tools. Equip the project office and key site personnel with communication tools, such as two-way radios, mobile phones, or satellite phones for remote areas. Reliable communication is essential for coordinating tasks, addressing issues, and ensuring the safety of all personnel. Coordination meetings and briefings. Schedule regular meetings and briefings to discuss progress, address challenges, and plan upcoming tasks. These meetings facilitate collaboration between the project team, site supervisors, and workers, helping ensure everyone is aligned on project goals. Reporting and documentation. Establish protocols for daily reports, incident reporting, and progress updates. Designate areas in the project office for document storage and management, ensuring that all reports, logs, and records are accessible and well organized. Selecting a project office and organizing the site is a foundational step that establishes the infrastructure and resources needed to support transmission line construction activities. By carefully setting up a project office for administration, meetings, and coordination, and arranging storage and accommodation facilities, the construction team is equipped to manage project logistics, ensure worker well-being, and maintain an efficient workflow. This setup fosters effective communication, improves productivity, and enhances safety, laying the groundwork for a successful and well-organized transmission line construction project. In Chapter 5, we have covered several key aspects of project management, including contract finalization, establishing the project team, detailed project planning, and selecting a project office and site organization. Given the depth of these topics, we will continue with the remaining areas in the next chapter, Chapter 6. As we progress through our study program, we'll be emphasizing the importance of professional ethics by integrating key values at each step. Understanding what professional ethics entail and recognizing their significance are essential for us as professionals. These ethics guide our actions, ensure integrity, and foster trust in our careers, shaping not only our interactions, but also the impact we have in our respective fields. Professional ethics encompass the moral principles and standards that shape our conduct within our chosen professions. Typically outlined in a profession-specific code of ethics, these guidelines are designed to ensure that we act with integrity, responsibility, and respect in all our interactions, whether with clients, colleagues, or the broader community. By adhering to these ethical standards, we uphold the trust and credibility essential to our professional roles. Let's break down some key components. Integrity. Professionals should always act honestly and be truthful in their dealings. Avoiding deceptive practices and upholding fairness are essential. Confidentiality. As professionals, we often handle sensitive information. It's crucial to maintain confidentiality, ensuring that private data stays protected. Competence. Staying skilled and knowledgeable in our field is a must. This often means continuous learning and keeping up with the latest advancements. Responsibility. We have a duty to act in the best interests of our clients or the public, making sure our work does no harm and contributes positively to society. Respect. Ethical behavior also means treating everyone with dignity and respect, regardless of their background, status, or beliefs. Accountability. Finally, we must take responsibility for our actions and decisions, being ready to explain and justify them when needed. Accountability in professional ethics. Accountability in professional ethics refers to the responsibility individuals have to take ownership of their actions, decisions, and their consequences within a professional setting. It is a core principle that ensures professionals are answerable to their clients, colleagues, and the broader community, as well as to regulatory bodies. When professionals act with accountability, they maintain trust and credibility by being transparent, dependable, and willing to accept the results of their actions, whether positive or negative. Key aspects of accountability in professional ethics. 1. Responsibility for actions. Professionals are expected to make decisions thoughtfully and to act with integrity. If a mistake is made or an issue arises, accountable individuals acknowledge it, address it, and learn from it. 2. Transparency and honesty. Accountability involves being open and honest about actions, especially when explaining processes, decisions, or mistakes. This transparency fosters trust and respect from clients, team members, and stakeholders. 3. Adherence to standards and policies. Accountable professionals follow industry standards, organizational policies, and legal regulations. By doing so, they ensure that their work meets ethical and professional benchmarks, reducing the risk of harm or error. 4. Willingness to accept consequences. Accountability means accepting the outcomes of one's actions. Professionals should be prepared to face the consequences of their decisions, whether that involves taking corrective action, making apologies, or providing restitution. 5. Commitment to improvement. When accountable professionals identify areas for improvement, they actively seek ways to enhance their skills, processes, or decision-making. This commitment helps them deliver higher quality work and continuously improve. Importance of accountability. Accountability in professional ethics is essential for maintaining a culture of trust, respect, and responsibility. It reinforces ethical behavior, supports organizational integrity, and contributes to the development of reliable, credible professionals who are valued by their clients, colleagues, and the community. Today's quote is from Confucius. "It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop." This quote emphasizes the importance of persistence and steady progress in reaching your goals. It suggests that the pace of your journey is less important than your commitment to moving forward, regardless of challenges or setbacks. Value of consistency. Success is more about maintaining a continuous effort than achieving rapid results. Even small incremental steps lead to progress over time, as long as you stay on course. Perseverance. Over speed. The quote highlights that everyone's journey is different, and there's no need to compare your pace to others. What truly matters is not giving up, even when things seem to be moving slowly. Overcoming obstacles. Life often presents challenges that may slow down progress. This quote reminds us that obstacles should not lead to quitting, but rather should be met with resilience. By continuing to move forward, no matter the speed, you're demonstrating strength and commitment. Long-term success. Reaching long-term goals can be a gradual process, and sometimes significant accomplishments take time. By embracing a steady pace and focusing on continuous movement, you set yourself up for sustainable success rather than burning out or abandoning your ambitions. In essence, this quote encourages patience, resilience, and determination. It reassures us that progress, however slow, is still progress, and that persistence is the key to eventually achieving our goals. As we wrap up our session, I encourage you to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of our upcoming chapters. It's your gateway to mastering transmission line supervision. That brings us to the end of today's Chapter 5. Next time, we'll the balance part of project management in Chapter 6. Until then, take care, and thank you for watching.